think if I do not buy this right now, it's gone. My chance is over. Like it's gone. I'm never gonna have this item. So I need to buy it right now before it's too late. Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Keia, and on my channel I talk about all things faith, finance, and fashion. If that sounds of interest to you, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't seen my first video, please go back and watch it so you can understand the context of what this video is going to be about. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 habits that will get you into debt, 5 shopping habits that will get you into debt, and 5 solutions to help you get out if you already are, or if you're on your way to getting into debt. So some context of that, if you haven't watched my first video, is that I am on my second debt-free journey. I got out of debt, did not address some underlying habits that I had, and got right back into debt. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing some habits that I realized that I had picked up over the years that I didn't address, and some solutions that I'm applying to my life in order to get past those and get out of consumer debt and stay out of consumer debt for good. So yeah, the first debt habit that I realized was affecting my spending and affecting my financial health in general was coveting and comparison. So I think this is like number one, not because, and I think sometimes it's because it goes hidden. A lot of the times, like you think of keeping up with the Joneses, you'll think about, oh, your neighbors. And there was a time in history where that is what it was. People would see what their neighbors had or their closest peers had and say, oh, I need, like, they're a counterpart to me. We're the same age, we're the same gender, whatever it may be. I should have what they have. But I feel like that's now exacerbated in our society because we live in a social media era. So your neighbor is now the person you follow. It's now someone that you would have never known of ever if you didn't have social media. And they're your age and they're your race and they have this. So because they have that, I should have that too. Pretty much just like trying to love someone else's life without considering your own circumstances. That's what I realized it was, and that's what I was dealing with. I realized that coveting really played a role in my life because I was thinking that just pretty much wanting someone else's life, no one in particular, just thinking that there was this life that I needed to attain by the world's standards, by society's standards, and making poor financial decisions in order to attain those things. Yeah, and then once I recognized that it was really coveting at the heart of it, it was really wanting what my neighbor had, was really at the root of it, I realized a solution to that, to battle that coveting, is contentment. So when I think of contentment, I always think of a story that my grandma would tell me about her childhood. So my grandma, born and raised in the 30s from Barbados, would always tell me that around Christmas time, her and her siblings would be ecstatic to receive candy. And like, I love that story because I love that story because it's just kind of innocent, but then also at the same time, I'm like, if I got a candy for Christmas, like, where's the gift? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I look at her and I look at her childhood, and like, even to this day when she tells that story, I'm like, wow, like, you were content over candy, content over what, like, you, in that moment, I mean, you had no choice but to be aware of your circumstances and what privileges were available to her. But like, I realized like she was content in that. So why can I not apply that to my own life? Once I realized I had to be content with the circumstances that were before me, the privileges that I have been afforded, then I could realize, okay, it's time to stay in my lane. It's time to cut my coat to fit my body. It's time to make better financial decisions to stay on the course of my goals, and just ultimately practice contentment with what I've already been blessed with. The second bad shopping habit that I realized that I had picked up, or maybe not even picked up, something that I just kept cultivating, was shopping on sale. And I know that probably sounds weird because it's like a sale, that's money. But something that I realized about shopping on sale was that there might be I have some favorite stores, okay? I have some favorite stores. I'm not gonna say any names, but I have some favorite stores, and there are some things where I had no desire to buy anything from that store at that time, or I had no desire to purchase a particular item. But then you get that email about the sale, and then you browse and you're like, oh, this shirt is originally this price and now it's 50% off. I need it. Never had a desire to have it in the first place, but now all of a sudden, because it's magically on sale, I need it in my closet. That is what I realized for myself, that shopping on sale, like unintentionally, impulsively, that made me buy and spend more money than I had originally intended to, because if like I had no desire to buy that before I realized that the item was on sale. Sale shopping truly influenced impulse buying for me, I realized. And a solution to that I realized was just saving money for what I actually desired and taking advantage of sales of things that you were already planning to get. Being strategic in actually shopping helped me to be a better shopper. So I mentioned in my past video that it wasn't actually the bigger ticket items that brought me back into debt. It was actually the smaller sale purchases, the smaller impulsive, consistent shopping that brought me back into debt. So in my previous video, if you haven't watched already, when I first got out of debt, I made a decision. I was like, okay, I'm gonna treat myself to a specific bag, and I'm gonna save for that bag. Once I pay off my last debt, I will save for that specific bag and I will buy it. And that's exactly what I did, and that was fine. But then it was, like I said, all the sales at my favorite stores, all those little purchases that really put me behind that even at first it was like, oh, well, I'm buying it with cash, it's fine. But then it wasn't cash. Then it was, oh, put it on the credit card and buy it and pay for it later. Pay for it as soon as you get paid. It's in a couple days. And then a couple days became a couple weeks on next pay. And then that just ended up adding up. So I realized for me, purchasing on sale, especially if it wasn't if it wasn't originally intended, even though it was just impulsive, that aided in stupid spending. Another parameter that I put up for myself was that if I wouldn't buy it full price, then I don't need to buy it on sale, because that means it's just it's not actually something that I love and it's not something that I need. Going off of that impulsive need to buy something on sale is the third bad habit that I realized contributed to stupid spending, and that is a scarcity mindset. So when something's on sale, you might be led to have a scarcity mindset because you think, if I do not buy this right now, it's gone. My chance is over. Like it's gone. I'm never gonna have this item. So I need to buy it right now before it's too late. And I was a victim to that. Not a victim. I gave into that 1000%. Like, oh, this is on sale. Like, especially if it was something that I actually had been looking for, I need to buy it right now. But the thing is, if I didn't have the money, I shouldn't have been buying it. Like, that's point blank period, especially if you have goals. I needed to have enough discipline to say, okay, even if I lose it, even if I cannot purchase it, then that's just not for me. But a lot of the times having that mindset, I need it now, it's now or never, that aided in me spending frivolously as well, because I was just moving super impulsively. And the definition of a scarcity mindset is when you are so obsessed with a lack of something, usually time or money, that you can't seem to focus on anything else no matter how hard you try. I don't know about you, but something about the word sale at my favorite store would send my scarcity mindset into overdrive. It's like I became so obsessed with the lack of not having a certain material item that I couldn't focus on anything until I obtained it. So you'd be stalking the site. Oh, is there a good amount left? Oh, is it just a few left? I need to buy, and then I found once you, the more you focus on something, the more it's gonna overtake your mind. And that is what would happen to me when I would see something on sale. And I just needed to have it at that moment. It's super unhealthy. And I'm just ultimately why is a material thing having such a hold over me? To the point where I'm willing to forsake my goals, forsake long-term goals just to obtain this shiny thing that's gonna lose its luster in about a week. So I realized the solution to that is an abundance mindset. So a very basic definition of what an abundance mindset is, a paradigm that there is plenty out there for everyone. Meaning that if you don't get this specific, in terms of shopping, bringing it bare bones right back down to just shopping and spending money frivolously. If I don't get that shirt, there's gonna be another one. Yeah, so an abundance mindset is pretty much just knowing that if I don't get this one material thing, that first of all, just stepping back and stopping myself from ruminating over material things in the first place, like just realize like putting those things in their rightful place, but then also just realizing, okay, if I don't get this thing, there'll be something better or something else that I want out there. And I realized like something as well, like with like sales and like scarcity mindset, you might not even love the item, you might not even love that thing, you might not even love, like, or for me, I might not even love that shirt, I might not even love that skirt, but because it's on sale for a limited amount of time and there's 2 left, I would have to have it. So yeah, just realizing like it's not, I'm not gonna have everything. I'm not gonna have everything in this life, and I don't need to have everything in this life. These are things that are just that moths can eat. Like these are things that will burn in a fire. It's just material things. It's just clothes. The 4th habit that I realized that I had as well was I was shopping for my ideal self as opposed to my real self. In psychology, there's a term known as the ideal self, and it is defined as the self-concept which the individual would most like to possess, upon which he places the highest value for himself. It is constructed of a person's hopes, wishes, and goals. So in simple terms, the real self is who we actually are, and the ideal self is who we want to be. And this is what I realized. I would be shopping for this ideal keia that I wanted to become, this ideal person that I wanted to be. Real keia goes to the gym multiple times a week, doesn't go out to many outings where I'd have to be dressing up too crazy. I wear flat shoes, I wear running shoes, I wear sneakers, I wear sandals, but more of a casual lifestyle. But and me and one of my close friends always joke about this. She always says to me, Keia, if you can do one thing, you can find a dress. And that is so true. If I can find a pretty dress, or if I could find a pretty dress and I loved it enough, I was gonna buy it. Like, I love pretty clothes, and there's nothing wrong with having 1 or 2 nice things, but why was I buying all these dresses going nowhere? And I realized, like, I touched on this before in my previous video, but especially in COVID, I realized I was shopping for an ideal self because I was so annoyed being locked in and being on lockdown that I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this for when the lockdown is over. I'm gonna buy this dress so when I go here when the lockdown is over, I'm gonna wear that. Shopping for who I wanted to be, when really I was just chilling in my house in sweatpants every single day. So a lot of money was wasted on that. And yeah, that's how you end up with 5 pairs of stilettos when you wear them twice a year. Like, it's ridiculous. And a solution to that was just accepting who I was and where I was at that moment. So I had to realize, and like, obviously, like, this took time to like recognize, like to actually like recognize what the habit was and like the cycle was. But I realized, like, I was shopping for this person that I wanted to be, for where I wanted to be in the future, instead of just realizing, like, okay, the solution to that is just shopping for your everyday life. If you're a casual person, make sure that you're buying quality things that you can wear and use consistently throughout your casual life, throughout your day-to-day life. If all you do is go to the office, make sure you have good clothes that you can wear to the office and wear multiple times. Clothes that won't disintegrate in the washing machine. Those are things to buy, not spaghetti strap slip dresses. Like, why was I buying spaghetti strap slip dresses when I was wearing track pants all day, working from home? You know what I mean? And the 5th habit that got me back into debt was just making excuses for myself to justify instantly gratifying myself all the time. So one big excuse that I had was like, oh, well, I bought it with cash, so it was fine. So like I said, I mentioned in my previous video, I had purchased a bag as a kind of celebratory gift for my first debt-free journey. And in that, I said, okay, this is this one bag, and then I'm back on the goal. But then one bag became 2, which became another expensive item. And my excuse was, oh, I'm out of debt now. I'm buying it in cash. But even though, like, if the purchases were being made in cash, if it's taking away from the ultimate goal, then that's just a waste of money ultimately. That threw me off of course. So I just had to realize, like a luxury purchase or a more high quality item, it might last longer and last through the years than something cheaper, but it's not an investment. Like, and I think that was another thing too. This is even cringe, but calling a depreciating asset an investment is insanity. And that's what I would tell myself. Oh, this bag, I know these bags last 20 years. People carry these bags for 20 years. It's an investment, but there's still wear and tear. It's not making any money. It's money down the drain ultimately. It's just disintegrating slower than a cheaper item. So I really had to realize, like, it was a pretty thing. I enjoyed that pretty thing, but that's exactly what it was, and I had to keep it in its rightful place. Like, and this is something that I always have to tell myself, because I'm a sucker for like a high quality, beautiful material thing. clothes in particular, clothes, accessories, all of these things. But I just had to realize, like, I need to put it in its rightful place. And a solution was just having accountability to promote delayed gratification. So ultimately thinking of a better future instead of being obsessed with what I could obtain right now, to scratch that itch of getting something new and shiny. And another thing that I would do, I think, like, back to paying off debt, and even now is just a helpful tool, and I might do a video on this actually later, is just about no buys, which is essentially going, setting aside a period of time, maybe a month, maybe a couple weeks. I would do like months at a time, and that was just not buying anything non-essential. So if it was clothes, my closet was full. I didn't need to buy any more clothes, and that's something that I'm doing right now. I'm buying toothpaste, I'm buying toilet paper, I'm buying food, the necessities, but not, and holding myself accountable, and actually, like, even, putting friction between purchases that would throw me off from my goal. So yeah, guys, those are my 5 habits that I recognize in myself that got me back into debt. And I hope that my solutions were helpful. I hope that they are helpful to you. If you have any habits that you recognize in yourself on your own getting into debt and getting out of debt journey, please leave them down below in the comments. I would love to see them. And if you have any solutions that have helped you along your own journey, please leave them down in the comments below. I would love to chat with you guys. I would love to just engage in a conversation about that. So yeah, thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, and please follow me on Instagram at KeiaJohn. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Bye.